you're probably thinking of is like, oh, is there like a sci-fi version? And you can adapt D&D to do that. But what you're thinking of is called Shadowrun. Which is a separate game with different mechanics, and it's more focused on like the futuristic. Like there's classes that specifically do only things like interface with technology, and that's their whole thing, which wouldn't be a thing in here. So it's a more, I think, in my opinion, Shadowrun is more complicated than D&D, but it's just another set of game rules, and I mean, a lot of it translates, you know. So I would definitely be down to check something out like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there are Spelljammers, which people forget about. Like Shadowrun is a good option, but if you want to throw sci-fi with fantasy still mixed in from this world, you could do the Spelljammer modulation.
Or Fate, if you want to just do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly. In which essentially the etheric sea that you would be able to travel, basically going into space and such, because obviously wizards are not limited, but obviously the main reason why you're stuck on planet, mostly for these worlds, when there's so much crazy magic, is that there's still one physic part that still is a problem, and that's air. Once you leave planet, you only have so much air in the atmosphere because you have a gravitational pull. And
D&D.
What?
Are there such things as Star Trek D&D?
yes.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
No.
No.
That's why the whole expansion module is basically called Spelljammer. Like, there's Illithid, there's Githyanki, like, they...
I mean, in base D&D, the Githyanki are literally, like, ethereal pirates that roam the ethereal planes on like, flying ships.
What are they?
And Githyanki, or Githzerai are the two races. So,
in short, Gith, G-I-T-H. They're green-looking people who originally hunted mind flayers close to extinction, which is why they now hide in the Underdark or in the core of planets out of sight.
So who wants them to extinction?
Githyanki. Githyanki, Githzerai, overall, in short, the Gith race, which are basically green alien space pirate people who were astral seafaring that travel from planar to planar existence, hunting mind flayers and making sure that they are wiped from existence.
I mean, that's the cause I can get down.
Hell yeah.
Behind.
Because originally, in short, Lord, on that one, the Gith were originally farmed for their brains. Because they had a more expansive mind that rapidly grew, they were a tastier treat to mind flayers, so they literally, like, farm harvest them, and then would eat them, and then they rose up, because who wouldn't get sick and tired of fucking getting eaten?
Gross.
Exactly.
Brains, a musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you... Wait, hold on.
Alrighty.
I'm excited for D&D.
I'm a DM now. Yay!
I mean, at what point do I qualify as real DM? I've got like...
You got a game, you're a real DM.
I got a couple games.
Yeah.
I've been had a couple games. It's like... But when I haven't gotten my, like, sticker in the mail, is what I'm talking about. Like, what do I have to... there's some sort of real-life achievement.
If you're looking for, like, DM godhood like I have right now, you want to run probably, like, 5 games every week for a year.
Alright. So, if we put this game through, that means I'll be running 3 games a week, which is it's close.
Yeah, because during that time frame, I was running 5 games, and I played in 3. So every week I had 8 games of Dungeons and Dragons to be a part of and make stuff for.
I want that. I want what you had. I want it. Give it to me.
I've dialed it back a little bit because right now, currently, I'm running You Guys, which is Ashes of Otren, which is all made story-wise by myself. Stranalis, which is one that I'm sharing a slot with the other DM because we're just trading like every other week. which works out because it's the main time slot that I and the Australians can fit in the best. And then I got my Warhammer game that I currently play in on Saturdays, but that's earlier, so it would be still fitting. The Sunday Traveler at Night game, which usually starts midnight. And then I also still have the Curse of Strahd. Yeah, I mentioned the Curse of Strahd game, which I usually...
Curse of Strahd, that just always drags forever.
It does.
Curse of Strahd. It just...
And then initially I was originally running something on Tuesdays. I'm trying to remember what that was. But that one died out, sadly, so I was just like, alright, whatever.
We cry.
So, currently, officially, right now, I'm DMing 3 to 4, sometimes, depending on the week, and then participating in 3 every day. So, I've downgraded from 8 to 7.
Oh gosh, you downgraded. It's
Unprecedented. A DM god moving down in slots for D&D? Heinous!
Are you unwell? No, I'm kidding. No, you don't want to OD on yourself either.
I want to overdose on Dungeons and Dragons.
I did at one point. It was glorious. The fucking 8 days, like, DMing 5 games that in, like, 1 week and having to keep, like, smashing out content like that is, like, such a good test of brain stress and shit.
Too much other shit to do.
What other shit? I'm stuck in my house.
It was COVID, man. Well, actually, no, I did this way before COVID. I did this like 3 years ago, so...
I'm not. I had no break.
That's because you're a true artist. There is no wait for art. Alrighty.
It's almost time to break the box and ring the bag for the rest of this wine.
The goon bag.
Box wine, it's where it's at. The future.
Backpack wine.
Next thing I know, you're gonna be drinking milk out of bags.
I do know some Canadians.
That's weird. And then you
Got a
put it
source on the
something else.
inside. What?
And then you have to put the bag in something else when you open it. Why don't you
Right.
buy a carton of
Exactly.
Very inefficient.
I don't think he gives a shit about efficiency as he's getting drunk. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like I just.
Look, man, I do not control the bags of milk. It's not me. I promise. I'm not Big Milk. It's not me.
Big milker,
I
man.
know my family owns a dairy farm, but I promise it's not. It's not like that.
He's gonna walk out with 2 giant bags of milk. I knew it!
I always knew.
So,
I'm just saying.
Oh god, D&D.
doing a little bit of bounce around. After purchasing a new longship from one of the ports in Rollins Alley, paying in full for it, and being able to sail out with Bulgane, as well as having one of his old fishing ship at the ready, also as well as sending that out to start doing some trade, you would originally went out to visit Veronica Fairbridge's estate.
Oh right.
Also, don't forget your other assets that you have, Umdek. Let's see, hold on, I need to move. Dorum, Umdek, and Mernis as the other dwarfs that you had originally paid to go and start a bar at the main trade center routes. Let's see. The name of... as I slide the map around way too much for myself. Montana Rock as the main trade center city. It's not so far from Onso. So you have them currently doing trade for you there and building up a bar currently. You also have the trade empire that you're trying to grow with. Well, again, between mulling around the idea originally of a traveling horse ship house and
Sorry.
after deciding against that and just going with the shipping empire, you came to realize that Veronica Fairbridge had owned a good portion of the Gulf that has trade going on between the lands of Otren, Belarus, Onso, and the main seaports here. and even going across the sea. So you decided to try and give her a run for her money, or even sign up with her. During your travels, you had thankfully initially gotten a larger ship and met up with a large portion of alpha fish, and decided to do a little bit of fishing and feed the griffins that way. With that, you had decided that after that to kind of keep an eye out. There was at one point when you were looking off the front of the ship and passing over one of the reefs, you saw a beautiful sheen of gold along with some other shipwreck pieces around it, and which after you saw that the gold itself seemed to shift and immediately caused the ship to lurch, which gave way to an extremely panicked fight between you and the hull breaker crab.
Oh yeah, that fucking thing.
After fighting the creature for a good portion of time and finding that lightning had disposed of some of its cover, but also found that some of the helm pieces, the figureheads that it had attached to itself, were magical in a way, you came to realize that it's very likely that these were from other pirate ships or other people who had endowed their ship with magic and were for the benefit of attacking other ships. After quickly repelling it, it fell back into the water, lurching the ship once more. There was a few panicked moments between griffins being stuck in water, people trying to fish each other out, trying to make sure that no one was thrown into the ocean or lost to the waves, and the creature had receded back to the coral reefs that it originally came from. Especially with the speed of the ship, the crab definitely did not stand a chance to be able to keep pace with it, especially sinking heavily to the bottom of the ocean now. Took some time to druidcraft and fix the front of the hull, especially with Nira and Dia kind of quickly putting braces to make sure that the hull itself was properly sealed for the time. On the night before reaching Veronica Fairbridge's estate, you had met, or well, came into sight of one of the creatures, the Androgyni, the larger celestial serpent from the skies and the seas who watches over a great deal of many, and also it seemed to be the messenger of the gods when it seemed to be almost looking through you and expecting all of you. It gave you a boon and an offering in a way of the prismatic scale shield that Jin now holds, and did bring up a great deal in question to many of you, especially with the fact that you now know that there are gods watching things at play, whether or not you were worthy enough to take the weapon. Jin took it up since everyone else had refused to touch the item, and found that it was endowed with a great amount of power, and even had the ability to once a day cast prismatic spray. After that, and finding its great strength, you made your way to Veronica Fairbridge and came up with the idea of kind of keeping things hush for now, as one of the others who were the ambassador to Onso, and who was sending you to Veronica Fairbridge's estate near Galera, the Green Dragonborn, which was Elric Brazier. He asked you to go there and investigate and find any evidence that you could be able to prove Veronica Fairbridge's trade and deal with the Ichor, as well as any damning evidence to the point of where there would be permittance to kind of take her estate away and freeze everything that she has. After meeting with her, you found out that she was seemingly blessed in a way. For many of you, there was a brief pause in time as you studied her signet rings and even her guards and such between the boons and blessings. Very swiftly deducted that she had been worshipping Dagon for some time, brother to Hestia.
Right.
one of the deep old ones that preside over the seas, and is also the Lord of Kuatoa and Meniamero, which you had met at the Cloud Giant's tower further north before. Realizing the situation and being cautious with your words, she had brought you to her main office, obviously in mention of the mine. You'd found out that her 2 husbands that originally fought over her was originally wrestling and fighting each other. She has a magnificent statue to the 2 men fighting naked, just to be able to take her hand in marriage, in which, when they had both failed to defeat each other, she decidedly married them both.
She's living her best life. I'm just saying. I support this.
After this, she escorted you past one of the main galleries in the 2nd floor. As you know, there is also much more to this estate than there seems to be, but the portcullis that leads underneath the main port stairs. It seems to have a iron portcullis rock gate that had blocked off the way, so either there is a possibility of going underwater, though you're not sure. At the same time, with her being a worshipper of Dagon, there is still a great deal of question of how to approach that. After spending a great deal of time discussing in her office what you wish to do between the Icar and her, both you and her, fishing information between each other, you had decided to send out the ship ahead of time between Geldrick, where you had to pick up some supplies for her, as she had requested. You sent the ship ahead of time, which is no longer here with you. Paul Gain, Eritris, Nira, Diaye, and Snake on board, obviously sailing south for the time being to go retrieve the supplies. The Griffins remaining behind along with Invincible. At this point, as she is also welcomed you to dinner, you do see that Sherville Sagefall, the Grand Magister of Onso's daughter, is here.
For prison.
And definitely from the vibe that you were kind of getting from when you originally saw her enter in from the garden area. You saw that she obviously immediately put on a prim and proper face, good smile, and obviously has been keeping a tight upper lip in the situation. At the same time, he had also sent Kuposhek to investigate during this time, to reclaim whatever is in the curious chest made of estranged metals. Aside from all this, obviously, Veronica Fairbridge still wishes for you to stay the night, but as the dinner party proceeds, there is also the other question of the crystals that you had discovered between the original veins that were in the mine, as well as some that were recovered from the seabed floor, from what you could tell the way they were terminated originally from the stone. So, with that, we come back to the moment at the dinner party where Sherville Sagefall has come to sit down and accompany the rest of you. At the same time, on a brief note, before I forget, Thalos and a few others have discovered that, especially with Veronica Fairbridge, you could tell that she knows full well that there are people who are able to resist her charms that she's put out already, as well as the fact that Aiden, you had come to the realization with the crystals that are here that it was almost like a siren song that kind of beckoned you to stay here and wants you to feel warm and comfortable here. You're not sure how this would affect you long term, but you also assume that it's probably not good to be listening to it too long.
So, time to go, is what you're saying.
After dinner, yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna eat.
We already said yes to dinner.
Okay.
We can't just be like, oh, you know what, we're gonna do. That's not shady or anything.
I guess.
Is she, how does she stack up versus the other dude? Like, would you put her higher, like, in terms of their business? Was she doing business with him, or was he doing business with her? If you get it.
For Dorian Seville, you know, especially from the fashion of it, he was doing business with her. She has and still maintains a huge dominant control between the business market and shipping industry of this main Gulf.
So basically, he wasn't shit to her. He was just a means to an end.
Pretty much. And you could tell, especially from the mention. I'm trying to remember. I know it was Dallas and one other who had shared the word of Hastur with her for the name.
It was it was Rameth
And I.
That's it. So you two are the only ones to see that her tattoos are constantly shifting, and that her eye color is obviously still changing in prismatic color with her heartbeat. And
next Blue Dragon.
with that, you do realize though that none of the others see that. The rest of them still see calloused looked eyes, and as well as just the kind of matte black tattoo that covers around her eyes, almost like a masquerade. And especially with that, it almost seems kind of like on the side of enlightenment, almost like saying the name Hastur had almost opened a doorway in a way to allow you to see a little bit beyond the veil.
The password was nipple.
Nips or GTFO.
Yeah, I was gonna consider this night was gonna end in a fight. I don't think that's smart currently.
What do you mean? The boat's just gone. So.
Our things are here now. Our Griffin.
It is true.
What are they serving for dinner?
Currently, right now, there's obviously the Cornish game hens. There's the various al dente vegetables between asparagus, cauliflower, and a few other broccoli, carrots, turnips, and such. There is a full suckling pig, obviously glazed perfectly with honey. And then you also see that they do have a larger plump turkey that obviously seems extremely well seasoned. Some you can see probably looks a little bit more like on the seaweed flake side. Obviously, preference in taste, and as well as a few sea urchins. Very rare, soft meat, kind of more palpable to those who have a very complex, refined palate, or those who find a softer texture, sea life with a little bit of saltier flavor to be more natural and wholesome.
Are we like in the beginning of the meal, middle, end?
Right at this point, it's just at the beginning, because obviously Sherville had just sat down, and obviously the maid and butler had obviously started serving up the various drinks that were requested. You can see that the entourage respectfully stays out of the dinner party room at the time, keeping watch over the main hall. From what you're not sure, you could tell that obviously everyone has their due diligence, that they refuse to break from their regimented order.
Is the door closed? Or?
The doors are closed.
Is there large windows? Is there easy access to the outside?
Currently, you do see that on a raised plateau for the marble walkway to the north of you, there is a window that breaks here. And it looks like that goes into the garden, as well as you had seen that there are two smaller windows as well that lead into the main open garden.
Could you point that out again? I was zoomed in really, really close. I didn't see what you were pointing at.
Oh, so from you. So it would be going through there if you were going to go through the window to the main garden, and then the other.
Okay.
These two here, which would be a little bit of a squeeze, but you can tell that you would probably still be able to make it out of there.
Okay. Kind of always need to know all the exits in the room before you proceed, you know?
Yeah. And the other one that you saw Shervo had originally entered from would be this doorway up here. But you could tell that's also because she came from the main garden. As for everything else, you could tell there's obviously just murals and statues that are lining the wall here. Obviously, especially since this is the part facing the mountain, this is all just probably built into the rock face. There are no windows on the left side.
Gotcha. So this is like the front side of
The garden area, which you can tell opens up on top.
Okay. Cool. Okay. The fact that you have all that blacked out got me a little nervous, but okay.
Let me look into the rock face.
Just saying.
It's a little sus. Yo, red looking sus, bro. Huh? So.
As all things go, we're gonna have to fight her, so I'm just trying to figure out how we can do this without fighting her and all of her dudes at once.
Are we like at full health, full rest, everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
She has obviously invited you to stay the night.
We turned her down. We said no.
I know.
I was just trying to sleep with somebody.
We sat on the boat and waited, didn't we? Or something?
For that, yes, you did initially stay on the boat and discuss matters before sending it out.
Oh shoot, we leveled up. Oops. I'll do that next time. It's okay. Let's carry on.
Well, hello.
Yeah, you can level up real quick. I'll just go on.
I forgot.
I thought we weren't gonna do that until like another night's rest or something like that.
That's right. Long rest would need to be had.
Oh, okay. So we are supposed to be what now? 9, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then after we rest, we'll hit the 1 out.
Yes, you will, sir.
Milestone.
I'm picking at my plate, kind of awkwardly. I don't have detect poison. And I'm regretting it.
What does it smell like? Heightened senses.
Oh, there you go. Smell for poison. Your animals
smell like?
detect toxins all the time.
Absolutely delicious. Like, this is probably...
Poison. How many midnight tears? On a scale from
They're like...
1 to 30.
Yeah, is there like... anything poisony smelling?
Straight to purple worm. No. There's definitely not any poison smell. You could tell, obviously, this is definitely the kind of meal that you would expect between business dealings. Is probably one of the better ones that they would be making. Obviously, they didn't waste any herb or spice for this. You could smell just kind of like this beautiful honeyed mix of spices kind of just floating and wafting through the air, especially with the finer ales, wines that they have brought out, even the heavier, harder liquors that are going on right now.
I don't know what I'm doing, so like doing this level up right now is gonna make. Can I just put without doing this right now?
Yeah.
We're not... You don't have to. We're not doing it until we get a long rest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to figure out what the quick look everything is.
All right.
Is there, wait, in here, was there shellfish on the table?
Are you allergic?
Yes, there is. There are sea urchin.
Okay. Nothing in the way of like clams or mussels or anything like that?
Not like that. Just seemingly the sea urchin seems to be the most prevalent one from the ocean. But you would also know that that's probably the most expensive thing on this table here.
That's what I'm going to indulge. That and wine.
All right. So, especially with that, you can tell the sea urchin is extremely fresh. It's easy to assume that they had probably just shucked it, and probably not long ago, and cleaned it up before serving up today.
And your level up is also easy. You only get 1 new feat, new spell. Oh, and a
There's
cantrip.
like multiple options to click on, and without reading it through, I feel like I'm just gonna make a stupid choice.
For spells, or
I think so. It said something about like you have blah blah blah, blah and it's like multiple options.
As for the
I'm lit right now, so
as for Juicy Meat Gin, there are the Cornish game hens, and then the Turgate stuff. You assume it might be dry, you're not sure, but the suckling pig looks definitely juicy. As you can even see, like the skin breaks perfectly. It's like that very nice crackling and very succulent roast pork on the inside.
you're making me hungry.
All right. So, as the dinner party proceeds, you can hear Chival's. So, where are the rest of you from? I do not recognize much of your clothing.
Damn, she gotta be asking questions and shit now.
Is that directed towards anybody or just us?
It's the party.
Everyone.
Rain picks up her drink and starts chugging.
I don't even remember.
Aiden casts an eye at Rain, kind of picks up the drink and chugs it back as well.
Rain wipes her face and tells her that we're from all over, nomadic.
I'm just attacking.
Oh my god.
Yes, times have been rough on the sea. Our deckhands' finer clothes swept away in a recent storm.
That's unfortunate. I would imagine that we have a few spare that would definitely fit him.
Oh, please, I'm sure he has no use for such things.
He's a deckhand.
So, with that, she'll actually take a moment to call the butler. Please prepare one of these spare chests of clothing, one of the finer ones for a good friend's deckhand here. With that, you'll see.
Aiden mutters, no crystals. Nobody hears him. It's into his drink. Nobody hears them.
Formal society, such a punch in the dick. So, but you will see that the butler does obviously give a very silent nod, and dutifully goes to retrieve said items. So,
That's very kind of you.
I don't see any reason to keep needless wealth to oneself all the time. Seems very foolish.
What else do you do with it?
Well, help those who are down on their luck, and I'll seek to better the township if you can. Though, unfortunately, out here there's not much way that I could help someone with charity other than what I've sent out. You can hear Veronica immediately pipes in. Yes, of course, the wonderful dear Miss Chivers, quite the charitable one. She makes sure that quite a great deal of the lesser populace is well fed and taken care of to a great degree. Has quite the soft heart.
It seems like. You said the lesser population. Who exactly are you referring to?
Well, the common fishermen, those who are obviously lumberjacks, the miners, the pig farmers, those who are not able to rub elbows with finer society.
Like the deckhand sitting here.
I'm sure he can serve a much greater purpose. She kind of gives him like the sly wink.
My deckhand's free later.
He gets off at 6.
He gets off.
And he'll get you off at 7.
Here. But you know, maybe you can show him around later. And then I tell Aiden real quick, squeeze a thought into my brain. This is, recon.
You're sitting in between Aiden and your brother, and you turn to me to telepathically tell him.
Yes, so you're gonna be saying it out loud. Just saying.
You're saying it out loud to me.
No, I'm not. I just said you was a thought.
Oh, I see. You're looking at me and you're giving me the look into my brain eyes.
Look into my brain.
So it's just like a what? And then you tell me, and I'm like, and then Jin, you get the deckhand. I have some orders for you. I'm kidding, but in all reality, we do need to know what she wants, and there are worse ways to find out. Unfortunately, Thalos came in with some clothes, so I think our current opening that you've set up fits perfectly. She's going to want to see you try on that new mankini she gave you.
What is it? What do you call that? A
Banana hammock.
banana hammock.
You're welcome.
Must you be so difficult about everything, Jin?
Gosh, that's so funny.
What are we offering our manservants, Jin and Thalos?
Apparently.
Just say
So
a
you
thing.
could order us to What the
Distract.
What the
Distract. Just distract.
Okay,
Like a
yeah.
stroll-
Go in.
Stroll in
Do
the
it.
garden, maybe?
You've
Something?
got my A-okay. Do it.
You
Do
can't-
it, pussy.
You guys are sort of like, because you're the only two that she knows are down with pasture. So
Right.
if you guys tell us to, like, we can't just do it on our own. Otherwise, we're sort of speaking out of turn. That's why I'm saying that.
The question is, who are you selling me to?
It's not a sale.
There's no
We're
one
just
selling.
renting her.
Yeah. No, you get the right. It's just one night. Think of it as a rental, if anything.
Oh my god!
Is it the prisoner trick?
No.
Am I going with the prisoner chick, or are you sending me with the fair bank bitch?
I think it's with
Yeah.
Veronica Fairbanks.
We're sending you with
Yeah,
Veronica Fairbridge, the Miss
Yeah,
Fish
don't want
Lady.
to do it. Yeah,
And
definitely
we
don't want to do
find-
it.
She's like eyeballing you. She's like, man, deckhands must be strong.
Yeah. and the
She's
only reason
all.
she's
She
eyeballing me is
basically
because
almost
somebody
has her
knows my
hand
name
on your
charisma.
thigh.
I do not want to do this.
See,
I
that's
do not
actually
consent.
something. I'm just, trying to convince my brother to help us out with some recon. That's all.
Yeah, have you ever heard of the term consent? I'm pretty sure it's 2021.
I know. That's why I said I'm trying to convince you. It's
Not
all-
here. It's like 421.
I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure somebody with good charisma can go. Sister.
Huh?
You have good charisma too. You can go.
The cleric has good charisma.
She has like 1 point lower than me.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you do.
What's your charisma?
18.
Mine is 14. Shut the fuck up and go do this.
I'll roll a warlock. I promise.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
So.
Whatever. I'm a fucking slave anyway. That can't be
Come on.
You did this to yourself, bro. Oh my fucking god.
Oh man, come on. Oh, Dallas is asking a question.
I tapped out. My telepathy, I believe it's 60 feet. I also need to be able to see them.
60.
Can you
Visual-
see
visual.
out to the garden?
Visual range. Yeah, I could post up by a window. Right, there are windows. I could DM God confirm tonight.
Yeah, these are
I
windows.
can casually do a window
You could be
lead.
like the silent strong type in the corner.
My throat is hurting me a bit. I'm just gonna drink this wine and enjoy the view. Yes.
Sashay over.
Yeah, you know. You already know. I unwrap my bandage a little bit, let the thing trail on the floor seductively. It's a whole thing. I've got all the guards' eyes.
Yeah. See? Not just you. Aiden is also helping us out here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
-1 to charisma, by the way.
Fucking.
Before you go any further, I was just gonna suggest if we take her to the garden, maybe you guys could talk to Chervil, but still communicate with both of us who are in the garden with Veronica.
Ooh.
That sounds like a plan to me.
I'm saying like divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Like
What
if
you're
we
saying
get
is split
Chervil
the
to,
party,
like,
which is terrifying.
That
But
is-
No, not split the party. Just put the party within 60 feet of each other. Only some of us are in the green, and some of us are at the dining room table. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Okay.
it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Just like we wouldn't be split. I'm just gonna ask like if I can take a look in the garden and see, you know,
Pretty
or the deckhand and I.
What
the
if we-
deckhand
what-
doesn't mind
yeah.
backing me up.
what if we, Aiden's suggestion then is for Ramus to say, to order, quote unquote, the deckhand and other, what's Thalos' title? Did we give him one?
Oh, I don't have a time.
What?
I'm pretty. I just look like your
Manservant.
rough ass bodyguard.
Okay. Tripod.
I just tell you this. That
Tripod, why don't you take the deckhand and give our
You gotta be careful
hostess
about
a
what
walk
Thalos
in
ordered
the-
me to do.
I was just gonna say, why don't we like say, word it like, why don't you take our hostess and ask her to show you the lovely garden over there.
That
I'm sure
sounds-
she would love a walk with you.
As fuck.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Let's.
Jen looks at the pork he's eating and is like, but I haven't eaten in days.
He's like
I'm
shoveling
starved."
food in, pretending to be a starving child.
Okay,
Oh,
so I'm gonna try to
Take
shoot this
pity on
one in. All right. So, I say because we've been eating for a little while now, right?
It's the five of us casting meaningful glances across the table at each other for like a minute of silence.
Okay, in that case, Thalos will turn to Mrs. Fairbridge and say, after such a succulent meal, I noticed that your garden is quite lush.
And
Would you mind if I
No
were
pun
to
intended.
tour it?
No pun
You know,
intended.
that line can mean so much.
That's the point.
She'll definitely give you a very wide and happy smile with a, of course, let me give you a tour.
I stand up, I offer my arm, and I look at Jin, like, meaningfully. Like, you clearly, like, dude, I know you're not into
going in my garden, that's for damn sure.
His garden is well trimmed.
have my Jesus.
This is terrible.
Just
I
get my
mean,
back here, alright?
We're talking about starting a whorehouse? Yeah.
Look at us! This is
Yeah,
what
you
we
started with
do!
me.
We're in the Maw of the Lion. We're in the Maw of the Lion, and we are doing this shit. Of course we would. Of course we would.
I just love the level of sheer panic that's going on.
We're terrified.
In that case, you know what? I'm not even gonna give the option because we're speaking on my own. So I guess I'm like a higher servant than the deckhand. So when I
No
stand,
choice.
yeah. So when I stand, I offer my arms to Veronica Fairbridge. I say deckhand, if you will.
Wow.
Oh.
Gives you that wow look and just stands up with a piece of the pork in hand.
Can I give Rain the nudge to smack it out of his hand?
Oh.
Focus on the mission.
Oh, you guys are gonna pay.
It's gonna be the whole party versus Jin.
We stand. I nod my head deferentially once again to both Aiden and to Ramus, who once again,
Not
as
bad.
far as he knows, run the crew.
I swish my wine at them.
All right, and then we head towards the garden.
Alright, so let me
Secret code.
reveal a bit of the path here. So,
Casual lean on the window.
with that, you will also see as you pass by going to the garden a very pale elf, shaved head, body covered from head to toe in what looks like chains and leather armor.
Kinky.
Like the gimp or like Spanish Inquisition.
You could tell, especially as you look at them, the various chains themselves, though.
It looked like the dude that was like whipping himself inside Da Vinci Code.
Pretty much looks like that.
Actually.
You could tell that this person just kind of very silently glances in your direction, and then the moment he sees Veronica Fairbridge, looks straight down at the ground, and just goes right back into the standing position, obviously waiting for someone else to come this direction. You can easily gauge that from the direction that Chervil had originally come, that this might be the guard / escort that might be with her at all times.
Deal with them first.
There's only one of him, or are there others nearby?
Far as you know, just him.
Can any one of us sense if, like, other beings in our general vicinity? Can any of us do that?
I have my my rod of alertness.
Rod of alertness. Would you be able to determine if there's any like hiding individuals near us, or if there's other like beings like him in the vicinity? Can we do any of that?
I can't. Not my wheelhouse. I shouldn't have picked a fucking
Detect,
druid. I should
detect
have.
evil, detect good, detect magic, detect poison and disease, or see invisibility.
I got that. I got the.
See invisibility is pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty keen. But with that, if somebody was able to detect sentient beings, or
Thoughts.
yeah, that as well, you would be able to. But you could tell that even with kind of like doing the quick check, then you could tell that this person's mind is ever silent, and it's just the eeriest shit in the world. You could tell that they have like zero purpose, and they've been conditioned for this purposely, and it will not break any emotion until they have either been given like a key point of trigger for them to obviously interact with, like when Jin, Veronica, and Thalos had walked through, which you can obviously see that this man has obviously been raised to be a servant as soon as Veronica Fairbridge was entering the room. Didn't even make eye contact or just immediately looking at the ground.
You're talking about the guy in the chains and the kinky outfit?
Yes.
Okay. Can Aiden see everything that's happening in the garden from the position that he is standing in?
Yes, you can see them in the garden, as well as interesting things happening out there. Jin, you can tell she is definitely far more distracted with Thalos currently.
Thalos, you're a little distracted too.
What I'm asking is, can he see everything that's happening? Like, is there anything blocking his vision, his line of vision, or anything while they're out there?
Currently, the only thing that semi-blocks it is the tree there, which is just kind of like a very small trunk, but other than that, he could still see just about everything in there. Obviously, once you get to this point, it would be harder because you couldn't see past like this wall, so this would be blocked out way down here, or around the corner in here.
Okay, and these two are just like the servers and...
Yeah,
Yep.
There's scantily dressed maid, and I don't remember who the other is.
The butler.
Oh, he brought the cloak.
Yep, he brought the clothing, and it obviously has set the chest aside for the time being.
we can detect magic. You said, right? One of us?
Believe.
So,
My rod of alertness can I think
Rod of
get the
or something?
servants... What?
rod of alertness, yeah.
Damn it, you have like a rod of something. Can't you detect things with it?
Rod of alertness.
Could we send
Detect
the
good and
servants
evil.
away and be able to have like a really quick scan of the room to make sure there's no like magic shit that we need to worry about, and then have a conversation with Sherville?
I
do-
could cast detect magic. I could
Mhm.
do a slide detect magic while I'm walking over to the thing, because it's only verbal and somatic. I don't need any material components, so I can just really quickly do some jutsu hand signals and like
Wouldn't that
mutter it
be-
under my breath.
But
So
being
really
in
quick-
where we are, wouldn't that be kind of a waste? Because
It lasts up to 10 minutes. I
I
can
know, but-
concentrate on it.
she's a giant, strong Dagon avatar for all we know, with Dagon corrupted people all over her in this place that's singing us a lullaby. Pretty sure whatever we're looking for would probably get jumbled in all of that.
But it might not. We don't know.
We need to
I
have
don't
a
know. We
conversation
need more
with
information.
Sherville. We
Right,
need to
and-
get rid of the servers and shit.
We need to know that we're not being overheard. That's our goal right now. Because we need information from her. We need to know that Miss Distraction Dagon isn't gonna hear it anymore.
So, like, is this
right
building
here.
behind like a thick wall? Can you see us? Is this a window, a door?
That's a door, and it's extremely thick and heavy, and you know that other than extremely loud sounds, there's definitely no way someone would be able to hear you through there.
Lovely.
Then
So,
I'm gonna blast detect magic down.
wait.
Alright.
No, go. Tell
I
me.
was gonna say, like, first let's get rid of the servers, and then you can do that, because that might get like picked up on whatever they are doing, and we just need to get them.
They might be magic
first.
users too. Alright, so we
Yeah.
then Rain, you should probably dismiss them as they're
So-
probably used to a matriarch.
I'll look at one of them and be like, to the maid chick. Simultaneously, I'm gonna tell Aiden, you should tell Ramis after this person leaves that he wants a new plate of whatever, just so that we send him on an errand. So I'm gonna look at the maid in the skin clad outfit and request a new bottle of wine, because we just finished the ones that are on the table. So, you know, skedaddle. Fuck out.
So with that, she nods and immediately goes to retrieve another bottle of wine.
And then Ramis should ask.
Yeah, I communicate to Ramus to deal with the manservant,
The manservant?
the butler.
What can we get him to do?
Rain's suggestion was like something's wrong with your plate. You
Oh,
need-
the more food.
Yeah. You
Sure.
request something specific.
What is-
I
what's
suggest
not
you
on the
request
table?
something specific. Yeah. a specific type of oysters, maybe. Be like a dick about it.
Yeah, so I asked what kind of oysters they are. What did she say they were? And then I asked for the complete opposite from like another region. I'm like,
These are saltwater. I want freshwater.
I don't think
Fetch
I
me some,
Exactly.
fetch me some eastern freshwater oysters. Those are the only ones I want.
Alright. So he should skedaddle.
Alright, so with that, he would definitely, especially hearing that request, and I'll go tell the chefs to prepare that immediately.
Inside his head, I didn't hear some fucking ass, fucking rich pieces of shit. I hate them all.
And then, Aiden, if you can do your magic diddly dee.
Yep, I will detect magic within 30 feet of me. So this whole room, I know if anything's in here, and if there's anything magical within 30 feet outside here, I see the aura. And I know the school of magic. I
Alrighty.
can also see through like a foot of stone, so if there's like glowing stuff in this room, I will also see it.
Nice. You're positioned very well right now.
Alrighty. So with that, you don't see anything in the dining room that is magical.
Good.
You do see for Chervil that it looks like she is wearing a choker that obviously is magical. Obviously a ring as well. And for...
Quick question, is she at all hip to this, or is she just like, what the fuck's happening?
You can tell she is looking rather nervous. Especially with the fact that you're casting Detect Magic. You could tell that,
She can feel it.
well, she obviously knows what is going down. She's not sure if she exactly wants to be kind of in this room, especially for obviously her being the daughter of a Grand Magister, that she's not exactly sure what's about to happen, but...
Can I ask clarification on that? Who's her father in regards to everything else going on?
Essentially imagine this is the president's daughter of another country.
Ooh, is this a friendly country or an enemy country?
This is Anso, the small continent of magic users, wizards, maesters, and kind of like witches and wizards and such, that has been so prominently strong that they have basically been able to fight off and tell every other country, fuck you, you're not taking us over.
And
Angry Switzerland.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that angry Switzerland on the continent that we all live and traveled on?
Yes.
Okay.
They share borders with Otren.
I'm gonna like move over here and sit right next to her and sit my
No, just sit on the table and be like, so.
How you doing?
Okay, first, is she an adult?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Can I, like age
Good
rate,
question.
a human?
How does that matter when you're selling off your brother? Go ahead, be illegal.
That's terrible.
So we're selling your brother, but look what you've done.
Did you go with your own 2 feet?
No.
He was
I
kidnapped.
was ordered.
Jen, you did this to yourself when you made yourself a deckhand, bro.
I didn't make myself a door, did I?
You did.
You did.
You 100% did.
You snapped off your armor and said you were decking.
You told me to look inconspicuous.
You did anything wasn't necessary.
I was gonna be like, well, this is our paladin. He's fully naked, but you know what?
They literally could just turn around and be like, yo, this is our captain.
Or our
He
bodyguard.
had no clothes.
You could wear the armor, motherfucker. I swear to God.
A ship captain with paladin armor. It makes no sense.
It's not necessarily
You
paladin armor.
don't venerate your god at all. I don't think I've ever heard the name of your god. So
Your armor is also.
Oh, then you're not paying attention.
Your
Who's your
snap
god?
on armor is also from the dead blood hunter, so it wouldn't look like paladin armor.
That's
It
true.
would look like
What are you
a.
talking about? My armor was crafted.
That is also true.
what was the school of magic on her
Oh, you-
magical items?
Your snap on armor is the.
Let me go
the
find that
you
real quick.
upgraded with.
No, we crafted my armor just so we can embed the jewel inside of it.
You've been wearing the thing. You took it. When I took the sword, you took the thing, and that's what was the snapple.
The fact is, right now, I have formal-looking clothing.
No, it's still in the chest. He set it aside for later.
What? So I'm not in the fucking
You're still
garden
in.
or
You're
nothing?
still in your like loincloth.
You didn't let me grab the fucking clothes.
You didn't say it. You gotta now narrate your things, bro.
I can't. I'm being told what to do. I gotta play the
Listen,
part.
just if good effect, maybe Veronica will try to keep you warm.
I don't want to be worn by Veronica. I want to
Speaking
be
of,
worn
I
by the
cast
other
an
chick.
eye out there. Well, I already asked you a question. Hold on, I'll let you answer.
Well, Jin could definitely slip away at this point because Veronica Fairbridge seems to have all of her attention on Talos currently.
Talos, our brother.
About.
Sacrifice for the greater good.
Seriously? What happened to walking in the back?
Miss Dagefall, can I get those clothes, please? It's pretty
They're in
cold
the
outside.
corner right here.
He runs back and says, I gotta get out of here.
Right here.
Yeah, then you got fine noble's clothing there. Yeah. And as for the necklace that necklace / choker that she's wearing, it would be enchantment. As
So you said she came from like a group of wizard and magic users, right?
yes. And then
I-
sorry.
For clarification, is she her angry Switzerland country? Is that friendly to like our cause in any way?
Came here with us.
Yeah. And
Each fall came with us.
I don't think she came with us.
no, she
She's
did.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who came? What was the name of the lady who came with us?
Artress.
Archers, yeah.
Archers, who stayed on the boat. Sorry.
Uh,
I think
I
she's talking
conflated
about,
two people.
Chervil right now.
Right.
Uh,
No, I'm sorry. I'm done.
Okay.
Yep. So the necklace is enchantment the choker that she's wearing, as well as the ring that is currently on Chervil's hand is necromancy. On
So yeah, you get warnings about both of those. Dangerous enchantment magic. Be on your guard and watch out for her hand. If she starts to do stuff with her hand, be ready.
so along with Veronica Fairbridge, as you kind of look out into the garden, well,
But she's down on her knees. Or...
well, you do see a little bit of conjuration magic going on behind her for some reason.
I don't like that. Conjuration magic is happening
Yes.
in the air.
Yeah. You're kind of familiar with it as a mage hand in a way.
In a way,
Yes.
sir.
Forgot. Listen, do your job.
Okay.
Oh,
Talk to Chervil.
just at a brief note, because obviously you can see her, just going down the list, you do see that Veronica Fairbridge has some items on her that have the School of Evocation, as well as a very heavy illusion magic that is upon herself as well.
Cheerful?
No.
Veronica Fairbridge.
Veronica.
Okay.
She's not as pretty as she pretended to be.
And then also a necklace that seems to be that of abjuration.
What's that?
Protection magic.
And then
Abjuration magic dispels other magic or wards off physical attack.
and then a ring that seems to be dealing with conjuration. And then as for the man to the north of you, you could tell that it is still a base form of enchantment that are upon most of his chains, but they also seem to be embedded with a mixture of evocation.
Can we see any weapons or anything on him, or is he pure like...
The chains themselves are his weapons from the look of it.
I'm going to take one of the wine bottles that are on the table and refill Chervil's glass and wine and pass it to him, right? To fill it. gonna look at Ida and be like, would you like a refill as well? And try to keep the tone as casual as possible in the room.
Yes, why don't you top me off?
Yeah. So I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna, refill Ida's glass, I'm gonna sit back down, and I'm gonna hold my glass up to Sherwood and, ask for, like, a cheers. Cheers.
Hellraiser. To new businesses, I assume?
Yes.
Cheers.
A new business. Cheers.
Cheers.
And I think we should sip, and I hope that some of her tension kind of melts away, so that she can
Ramus
see
looks
that
at
we're
her.
not an immediate threat in any way.
Just asks, not like more curious than like trying to get at something, but asks. You look very uncomfortable. What brings you here?
You can tell that she does kind of look around herself to make sure that no one else is kind of listening in.
There's a paraplegic man standing by the sitting in a wheelchair, but like he's not.
Very cool.
I like sit back and put my feet up on.
You
and
rub
just
Drake's head.
Scratching behind Drake's ears. Drake hounds ears.
Just a human man in a wheelchair.
Awkwardish. Go on.
So, and she kind of looks around. Not everything is as always pleasant as it seems to be. I do miss home. As nice as this place is. And you could tell, like,
Has it been a long time?
about 2 years.
What keeps you from going back? Too busy?
I guess you could say that. As remaining busy and under the ever vigilant ward of Miss Veronica.
You both hear in your heads, I know what that sounds like to me. And with
I
a
asked her.
band of enchantment around her neck, she may not be.
Ramus asks if you could leave. Would you?
If I could be free of all predication and responsibility and other issues that would arise, I would probably take heart and head home immediately.
I sent out a thought really quick to Aiden to also share with Ramus that we shouldn't be too, rescue-y sounding in this conversation. This is recon, information digging only right now.
I'm trying to see if she would be on her side.
Yes, and there's value in your question, but I also don't want it to become this, thing where she thinks we're slowly committing to, trying to help her. I feel like we should just be careful of our choices.
I'm trying to have a casual conversation while hopefully getting some info.
Aiden's gonna attempt a somewhat risky question.
Aiden
He's
is
going.
Go on.
Aiden is going to say, "Forgive my impertinence. This may be, if this question offends, but you have worked with Veronica for some time. Is there anything we should know as we're just getting into business with her? What are we getting ourselves into?" And he kind of does that, oh, what are we getting ourselves into? But
Kind of relaxed, but not really relaxed. We still kind of tense about this question.
that eye look where it's just like, please fucking tell us what the fuck's going on here. She does kind of look at you, and business with her is taxing to some and beneficial to others. It's more prevalent if you're selling some of these special shipments. She gives more kinder treatments to the captains and crews of those ships. At that point, you would hear the maid does come back in. A fresh bottle of wine. And
I'm gonna try and keep the casual train going, and after she like puts it down, I'll kind of do like a thank you. That's enough for now.
And she will politely bow and go to step out of the room. Obviously reading the dinner table, as it's obviously private conversation at the moment.
Alright, we're winding down. Most people have finished eating.
At the same time, well, that would be a little bit longer. So, you could see that Chervil almost jumped out of her seat the moment the maid came back in, as she was kind of discussing matters with you.
I don't know if this is a bad idea, but I would like to
Do it.
on her to just do the
Elaborate
It's cool.
rituals
Yeah,
to
that's
touch other women.
And you know,
It's a little like a, like a.
yeah, you're good. It's cool. I don't know, maybe the maid thinks I'm just trying to seduce this person, and she'd be like, all right, let me just knock cock off. And yeah,
Man.
you know, like,
I can't see. I'm blind, sudden.
you know, and then I'm gonna ask Chervil once the maid leaves, you know, did your arrival here, is your arrival and your stay here connected to a business dealing that went good or bad?
Can tell that she's just studying over your face, and both you and Aiden very carefully looks to Ramus as well. I don't stay here by choice, but I can't leave either. If I say why, I most likely won't see my father again.
Say it to people hearing it, or just saying?
Cannot say. Why? Go ahead and roll me an insight.
I will do that. I have advantage.
He will do that. He has advantage.
Alright.
That's a 9 plus. Yeah, 13.
So, with that, you can very easily deduct the way she's saying it and the tone kind of trying to hint towards it is that something on her person is likely to keep her from either leaving this place or even mentioning it might cause her harm. Aiden, from especially on that hint and you deducing that when you saw the School of Magic, you assume it's the ring that she is wearing that has to deal with necromancy.
Oh, it's the ring.
Yes, which you know that the School of Necromancy, or the magical School of Necromancy, deals, especially even between like revivify, cure wounds and such, it deals with life and death magic.
So, if we touched it, will we die?
She might be dead.
If we touch it?
No,
No,
she might be
dead.
dead.
Already dead.
Already dead, and the ring is the only thing keeping her alive, and the ring is probably powered by Veronica. Or adjacent.
Possibly.
Some.
I guess what I'm asking is, if we touch this magic, is anything gonna happen to us?
We have no way of knowing without an identify,
Okay.
which requires us to touch it anyway.
Correct.
Okay.
We don't know because none of us know.
That's
With
interesting.
detect magic only tells me the school. Unfortunately, it's only a first level spell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tempted to touch her hand.
Could I? How about this? Could I make an Arcana check to attempt to determine the extent of this magic? If it only works on people that this ring is attuned to, if it's just a contact thing.
Can I,
Jin's back.
He crawls through the window.
from here, can I smell what she smells like? If she just smells like magic, or just perfume, or is
Death?
Yeah, basically.
She smells like that of a noble. She smells pretty much clean, washed, very well kept. Obviously, lots of perfume makeup.
You said pretty much.
Pretty much exactly. She's definitely not dead. You would definitely pick up on the scent for that.
Okay.
See, but this is him just burying the lead. How dare you, deckhand?
Oh my god.
Gin Delacroix Suave Eyes. Oh, it's cold. Baby, it's cold.
Alright. And then go ahead and roll me a Arcana item for trying to discern that real quick.
13 plus 7 is to 20. Dirty 20.
It's 20. And Chin comes in to lay on the Delacroix charm.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
So, you could tell that you're not sure exactly what, but you start to get a small sense of what Sherville was hinting at, is that there is a trigger on the ring, a spell that would go off.
Sounds like a bomb.
Got it.
Jin runs away.
You said there's magic on her neck?
Yes.
Yeah, she has an enchantment band. A choker with enchantment magic.
What that is with your Arcana?
I would definitely allow that to stand.
Lit. Alright. So what is it?
Well, with that, it's easy enough to tell because these amulets do stand out quite significantly. This is an amulet of proof against detection.
What's that?
Oh.
So basically, any form of divination, scrying, or detection magic that would tell someone where she is magically, or find her magically in the location, is undetectable.
So it keeps her lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the longest names for a magical item in D&D.
What's it called?
Amulet of proof against detection and location. Gives you all the information right up front.
Yeah, it's some real shit. There's nothing to read there. I mean, do we want to continue pushing to get more information? Because she seems to be too afraid to release. But,
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not her cup of tea. Somebody want to
What
help me out here?
is there?
You called, madam?
Madame.
Is there like a fireplace or anything like that in here where I can warm up?
You said you needed help. I felt it in my head.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Just asking Sherlock. I'd be like, is there somewhere warm that my deckhand can, be? Could you show him where to go, and maybe my brother could talk to her?
Perhaps you could. Perhaps you could show him around. Suggestive. Show him the things you can't say to us.
Of course. I will need my escort, though.
I see.
So with that, she will politely stand up, and almost like without missing a beat, you could tell like this person was probably waiting for one of the louder sounds of like the chair sliding across the floor. So.
Wait, can we pause that for 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense to send my brother where I didn't live with her instead? He'd be able to telepathically have a conversation.
I can't, only if I maintain, as soon as I leave the room, I can't see you guys.
Well, what? Okay,
Are you
so-
trying to have Aiden have a telepathy talk with her? That way, nothing is said out loud.
Aiden could go with her instead.
But that would leave him exposed if some shit pops off. And
Where-
hardly split 3 ways. That's not a good idea.
Could
I
handle
happen
myself.
to believe that Aiden is not weak.
Why don't you all entertain our host, and I will see what wonders she has in this magnificent estate of hers. And Aiden will sashay down over to Sherville and like take her arm and like offer his arm.
Yeah.
He's
got like the whole robe thing, so it looks really good.
So she will very, very politely take that. You can see that the very questionable looking escort does come to weirdly enough politely open the door for both of you.
I don't like him.
I hate that he looks like an inquisitor.
He kind of looks like that character that Kevin Hart played in that one comedy movie. Kept on whipping himself.
So, with that, you can see Thalos is definitely thoroughly distracting Rock Fairbridge at that point. Nobody look over there. It's not PG anymore.
Oh dear. I hadn't left at the perfect time.
What? Monk-like before me.
How to gross at you, brother.
Man, I'm just going. Bye, guys.
Kidnapped. Yeah, kidnap. Kidnap. Kidnap.
He's chanting
so we
kid.
can't-
I just want to be sure here.
Right?
So y'all are just abandoned, huh? So you're like no back.
No, you guys have two people looking out the window at you, and I've taken care of the creepy guard guy. So if anything, you're safer than ever, and Jin can show Rain the way through all these doors over here to get
Or I
to
could
you
show her
guys.
how I got in. I got
With
in
the
through
crawling
window.
through the window thing, I don't know how that's gonna play. Oh, where am I? What is this room? Why does it look like that? Why is it red?
So
Is that blood? Is it my blood?
that is a
Sacrifice altar?
red velvet chair and couch in what obviously seems to be one of the various sitting rooms. It's smaller by design, obsidian floor, a beautiful red glass that's obviously been inlaid and designed with more of a dwarven art deco, as well as a beautiful dwarven fireplace inlaid with red marble as well. The hue, as you could tell, is more of a passionate kind of room.
Yeah, I kind of read that in the.
Kinky Man stays outside of the room then, yeah?
Yes, he does.
I'm looking at this fucking wicker chair with the padded arms and seat. It's terrifying. Dude, I've seen that in videos before. We know. It is known. Look. Need to have a chair. Need to have padding.
So, back in the room, should we be doing some recon? Shall we take a walk outside? Because we don't, maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't interrupt them.
Jin was gagging on something. I feel like we should expand on that.
The thought of Thalos and Fairbridge.
Just the thought.
Let Thalos get his rocks and, like,
Tripod needs to tripod, man.
sometimes you
Jen
just gotta
finds her
try-
repulsive.
Sometimes you're pole vaulting around town, and that's just how it is.
Don't
Evil fucking sea witch.
Yeah, Jen finds her repulsive. For some odd reason, I feel like a Game of Thrones moment is gonna happen.
Maybe
She's
it's
gonna
just,
turn out to be like 190 years old.
all the more interesting. The woman in red?
Yeah. And if that's the case, do you, Thalos?
Or
And
just
her. Do her too.
Thalos could see Jen cheering from the window.
all right. So for this well, obviously Thalos, Veronica, Fairbridge is going to be keeping you company for a while out there.
Just a little bit.
Well, I'm doing my part for the team.
She's going for the chocolatier.
So, looking around real quick, I'm gonna say to Ramus and Jen, like, should we be doing recon? What's our next step?
Back up, probably. Just to
Are
make
we
sure.
supposed to do a run for Veronica tomorrow? Or
The boat's already sent out.
The boat's doing
Oh, it's
it.
already sent out.
Right. We have people for that.
Right.
We're working on deepening relationships, figuring out how deep this Dagon thing goes.
Is there artwork around the room? Is there any secret panels? Is there like, can we like check the room out?
Yes, you can. You can roll me an investigation if you like.
Oh shoot. Alright.
Is anybody else in here with us, or is it just us by this one?
Currently just you in there, as obviously when you sent the request of the oysters and such. Oh, wow.
We're just walking
It's
into
a
one.
room.
We're not finding shit.
Damn.
It's definitely a. Oh my lord.
Damn.
It's definitely a fucking room.
Dude, I left for like a minute, guys. Did you lose the brain cell that quickly?
This last two brains have walked out with you.
Listen, you cannot see these rolls. You're in another room.
That's true.
Apparently I'm seeing fucking Serval bend over seductively. Like, I don't know what's going on in this bright red room.
Well, she's not bending over, but she is having a conversation with you.
Yeah, thank God. He is. He's doing recon. He's worried that she thinks he's gonna be able to perform, and she's a woman, so I don't know how that's gonna play out.
Aiden's a woman?
No, Serval's a woman.
No, sorry.
Oh.
Aiden's gay.
Should have sent me. Would have been different.
So,
You didn't want to go.
so at the same time, while this is all happening, Shrivel is obviously looking a little more relaxed, especially further away from the group. And the first thing she asks you straightforward is, "What are your intentions with Miss Veronica? I cannot advise with good intention that it would be healthy for you or your crew to pursue anything with them."
You would advise me against a business venture, then?
For your humanity and the sake of your crew, yes.
I, at least, would not giving myself over to someone I have just met. If it is soullessness that she requires, then I will not give her what she wants. However, for the moment it seems we are aligned. However odd that may be for us and her.
God damn it. Would you be able to get me out of here?
We would be willing to try.
I'll tell you this, I'll be so disappointed if Aiden gets to solo freaking Pale Wonder over there.
He is gay!
Fight, you dumbass!
Gay people can't fight? What?
No. I'm saying. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sarcasm didn't come through, and now I look like the biggest. All over. It's just so much egg.
Oh god, I love Aiden.
I'm sorry, man. It's just it fucking came out immediately. I'm just like, oh the fuck.
Oh shit! I love D&D. I love D&D. It's the best.
Holy fucking crap.
Back to the super serious.
You got this, buddy.
Yeah. I I can only promise
then I would recommend having a form of dispelling magic.
My fingers sparkle. Taken care of.
With that, you could tell that she just kind of looks at you and, almost like in a pleading fashion, kind of like holds up the hand that has the ring on it. As you look at it, you do see, especially with the symbology, now that I'm able to get a closer look at it, it looks like pretty much like the sigil of Dagon is on it.
Just before I take her hand, I ask her if she has. Do you have any idea how powerful magic this is?
She just shakes her head. I know it's too strong for me.
Alright, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic at...
Wait, hold on. You sure?
I think
Yeah.
at that moment that
Like a
happens,
bomb
anybody
wouldn't
who could detect magic would be able to sense her, and this chick would know.
Yeah. She'd know you tampered with it immediately.
He could target the ring specifically. He's not dispelling all her magic.
Right. We don't know necessarily that this magic is it's a trigger based on her. From what I know, it's not something that Veronica can activate with a thought. She's not mentally connected to it, right? That would be a different school of magic.
Wait, so is this choker suppressing her magic?
It's not
or
the
is it,
choker. It's not the choker. The
making
choker is
her-
enchantment magic. This is the
Okay.
ring.
Yeah.
The ring is preventing her from saying certain things because if it does, something really bad is going to happen.
Okay. I thought it was the choker, where at that point, then
I
think
did too, initially.
Fairbridge would be able to sense her.
I'm going to attempt to dispel the ring with a 4th level dispel magic.
Alright, well,
Is it a spell of 4th level or lower?
it is 5th level, so I need to roll me.
God damn it! Oh,
Go ahead and roll me your spell DC. So if I recall for yours, that would be Charisma?
Yep. I'm a druid wisdom.
Wisdom. So Wisdom. So roll me a flat Wisdom. And your DC is obviously 15.
I have inspiration. May I please use my inspiration?
Yes, you can.
Fuck!
And then he blows up and everybody dies.
So it's...
It just says on a successful check the spell, and it doesn't tell me what happens when it fails.
So obviously it does fail, and you could see that there is a soft glimmer in the eyes of the face of Dagon on it, but nothing happens.
All right, really quickly, the next 6 seconds of immediately as soon as I can, I'm gonna try again at 5th level.
All right.
I'm just gonna burn my 1 5th level slot.
Alrighty. So with that,
Your boy can no longer conjure elementals. Uh-oh.
so with that, you do see that the ring itself almost kind of releases an amount of pressure from her finger. And with that, you can see her very, very quickly take the ring off and just throw it on the floor.
I firebolt it.
Alright, so you firebolt it, and you do hear the guard shuffle at that point, hearing that, and quickly bursts in. And with that, she is obviously very, very close to you, and she, just in a very quick moment, goes to turn away, almost as if she was, opening her top, kind of pretending she turns to him and out quickly, and just almost like the frazzled kind of servant look, just shakes head and just shuts the door immediately.
I imagine it's that type of thing where he's like, he runs out and he closes the door, so he ends up like facing the room right as he's closing the door, and we make eye contact right as it closes, and Ian just winks at him.
And Ramus, as you're kind of exploring, you heard this little kerfuffle going on.
That's a good word.
And you do hear the jingling of the chains, because at that point you do see, and Aiden, you saw it for a brief time, that the chains that were tightly wound around his body were immediately loosened, and it looked like a drape over his shoulders on his back, and then the longer two spiked halves seem to kind of be past where he grabs onto the handles for it. And at that point, Ramus, you do see him kind of, just almost like a very low and fluent motion, just quickly wrap the chains back around and then kind of lock them back on like small belt hooks that they obviously are supposed to be resting in, and then goes to recompose himself in the hallway.
He's Gimp Ghost Rider.
Sounds like it a little.
But you do see that the ring itself, even after blasting it, and surprisingly even the marble doesn't look really harmed. You do see that the ring is still in one piece on the floor. But just a short explanation of that. Well, actually, no, I'll let you discover that when you take a moment to study it. You can see Cherville's like almost at this point like a frazzled, melting down mess. Like, I can leave here. I can actually get out of here now. Is your ship still here? We cannot stay here that long. She has an entire church downstairs.
You didn't want to say that before?
She couldn't. She couldn't. I say, would your guard believe you if you made excuses for us to go back to the ship? All that again, but in like a scratchier voice.
If I go to my main bedroom, I would be able to sneak out one of the windows now.
Lead the way.
Our ship isn't here, though, is it?
No, it's not. The Griffins are, though.
Wait.
You sent the ship off. The ship has already left.
I thought we sent our second ship.
No.
2.
We sent our second ship. We absolutely sent the other.
Sent your main ship. You do not have an instant telephone between the two.
What?
You sent your main ship that you have currently because you do not have a telephone between the two of them right now. You have the other
Can
one
we buy sending stones?
for the group.
Right.
But you're still waiting for another crew to finish loading up with the other ship.
Well, but then how were we gonna retreat to that? I'm so confused because we were gonna not sleep there tonight because our ship was was here. The whole thing was we weren't staying.
That's why you left the Griffins here last time. And they're perched up on the cliffs, which was one of the original questions.
I don't recall that. I don't recall anything. Fuck.
You sent them to Galadric ahead of time. And that you would rely on the Griffins out.
I mean, okay, regardless, we still have Griffins. My Griffin can carry 2 people.
It's true.
How far away is this ship in terms of travel?
Probably a day or 2 by Griffin.
By Griffin, not very long, especially due to the fact that this whole dinner party's been happening for about 3 hours.
Yo, this whole thing went to shit just now. This whole plan.
Right. Everybody thought the boat was still here because we all still saw it on the map.
It's long gone.
Fuck. Did not know that. Did not remember that fact. I was so sure that it was the other boat.
You purposely had them leave because you were afraid, that especially with them being worshippers of Dagon, the ocean, dark ocean god, that they would fuck with your boat.
Oh my god.
Wait, but didn't we have them just like go and wait a little off the... I'm so confused. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, so this whole plan is just way too risky now.
No, it's still the same. Rather than escape via ship, we escape via Griffin. Same thing.
No.
Same thing. It just the problem is griffins are fragile.
Yeah, the ship would have been much more like sturdier as.
But now but also this is stealthier. Now we can leave as we each like get out, rather than having to all charge out the front door and onto a
But
boat.
we're all splintered.
Right, and we all have our own griffin. Or other flying invincible
Oh,
creature.
can we just call them?
Thank
stuff?
you.
Like
That-
Accio, Griffin.
Right. Yeah. I assume there's we have a way to summon them, otherwise we wouldn't have sent them away. They're trained. We have like whistles probably.
That's true. You actually do.
Okay, we have.
I'm
to
adding griffin whistle to my sheet, by the way.
We have to extract Thalos. That's the most important thing because he's with the most powerful being on this fucking island right now.
So we're not
He's
gonna
not
go-
with me.
No, I thought it was. I'm talking about Veronica. I'm
Okay.
confused.
He said the most powerful being on this island. I said he's not with me.
So long as it's
I just went over your
just
head.
don't talk about the biggest person on this island. It's Jin's ego.
No, that's Thalos' dick.
Oh no!
Okay, fair.
So obviously, Aiden, you could take that ring with you, or you could leave it on the floor if you like.
I will. Do I have mage hand? I don't have mage hand. I will pick it up, but I'm gonna pick it up like with something. I'm gonna take like.
There is a fire poker in the room.
Yeah. I have like I was just gonna use like one of my daggers,
Alright.
so I don't have to carry like an extra thing.
Alright.
If I don't have like a. Ooh, do I have like a bottle, like an old potion of healing bottle that I could just drop it into?
I would say yes, because
Okay.
you guys have chugged plenty of potions at the time.
Yeah, I'll put it in there, and it rattles around. And I shove it in my handy haversack.
Alright. And Ramus, as you are also coming around the corner to see that, you do see this man hasn't noticed, but you do see Ku is kind of like hiding around the corner and makes himself a little noticed as he does like a little wave at you and then like holds up what looks like almost like a tealish blue ingot.
What's an ingot?
A concentration of raw metal.
Yeah.
A bar. Like so many raps and rhymes.
Think of the Mandalorian when they hand them Beskar and those things. That's an ingot.
That's an ingot.
Wait, that coin?
No,
No.
the like those like flat discs.
Okay.
Like, imagine gold
basically
bars,
it's
like in a ball.
yeah,
A what?
a bar of gold,
Yeah.
also
that's-
called an ingot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
They're the type of thing that you put into your smelter to melt
It's
down to forge
concentrated.
thing.
How do you spell
Concentrated ore.
Ingot, I-N-G-O-T,
INGOT? Okay, thank you.
ingot.
You ingot.
You bloody ingot.
It's like a compliment. You're, like, I guess, a bar of gold.
You're my ingot. Alright. So obviously Ku's gotten your attention, Ramus. So,
I sort of can I give them like a get to the Griffin sign?
you kind of do like the little finger wave, go for a window or something.
Yeah.
So with that, he does a nod and he's like looking around and like you can see him like skimp across like some of the other pillars and sections and into another side door as far as you can tell. So, as this is all popping off, you do hear Thalos. Veronica Fairbridge asks if you'd like to go somewhere more comfortable for a time.
Okay.
Cough, cough. I'd like to freshen up first.
I see his game.
At the same time, you do see the butler return. Obviously cleans up the other dishes, but also does set out the oysters for when Ramus comes to return.
So I forgot.
oysters? Can we see that the oysters have been delivered from outside?
You would be able to see the butler pass through the main doors. Yes.
Perhaps a bit of refreshment for us.
An aphrodisiac.
Are clams an aphrodisiac?
Oysters are.
Are they?
Yes.
Well, they're supposedly not
Allegedly.
So
Right.
allegedly.
allegedly.
One of those old tales kind of thing. So, but she'll nod and like, of course. Need to keep up your energy for tonight.
Sounds like a threat.
It's a little bit of both.
We have to regroup and figure out how to get the fuck out of that.
Like, I've lost contact with Aiden.
Do we just like
completely.
fight her? Do we just like fight her? Should we just?
We're gonna die.
Can we do a hard save first?
Wait, does she head that way?
Yeah, because she's using the door.
Okay.
Because this would be the doorway.
Got up to the garden.
Yep.
I thought it was through here. Oh, okay, my fault.
So
Alright, in
there's
that case,
that way and that way.
Yes, let's make our way slowly back to the dining room.
At this point, Rain and Jin, you would see them leaving the garden.
Loud, I say. It really is wonderful, this architecture. Just, just to, like, in case any of my people are in the hall, just like.
You want us to get out or come to your rescue? I'm confused.
I'm just letting you know we're no longer in the garden.
Oh, I'm just gonna sit here and eat these oysters.
And eat these pork.
Like everything's fucking normal and dandy.
All right.
Rem comes back up and he's like staring at the architecture and the wall.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna tell my brother to, like eyeball Veronica, keep an eye.
Keep eyes on her. And
Why? Thalos has all his eyes on her.
No, before he comes back, he
Wow.
sort of makes his presence known. Are they done yet?
with that, he
Garden was quite refreshing.
the chain elf you can see is looks to you and just gives you a head shake of no.
Does he talk or not?
Completely silent. You've not heard this man speak once.
Does he sound like a bitch?
He acts like one.
I'm trying to think, how do I get their attention without like giving too much attention? Can I like try and psychic blast Aiden to see if he'll hear it? Can I think really hard?
I'm behind a closed door. My powers are destroyed. My only weakness, obstruction.
So sadly not, but Shirval is obviously at this point as you're trying to get that done and over with Ramus. Shirval will be quick. My room is on the second floor, and we'll immediately start leading you out of the mainstay doorway. So. I can tell that she is trying to lead you upstairs.
Yeah, I will follow. She hears in her head, "Don't be alarmed, it's me. Should we bring my compatriot as well for security?" For security. Sorry, my Discord cut out there.
You do hear it in just a very quick reply. I could try and act like Veronica for the moment. Bring both of you in there.
Very well. I give Ramus the nod. You hear, "Come with us. I'll explain once we're upstairs," in your head.
Alrighty.
I'm assuming there are stairs.
Yes. There are a pair of stairs. Right here.
Ooh, stairs.
So,
I again do the arm thing.
as the
The arm thing.
rest of the group is being entertained at the table in front of Fairbridge. Oh, hold on. I gotta move everyone here. These don't exist yet.
What?
Back to the grand staircase, going up. Changing. Oh, there.
Dare you touch me?
I always touch you. So she will lead you to her main bedroom in the southern wing, which this would be hers, overlooking the ocean. Which obviously the chain gang will be.
God, do all these people do is fuck?
Yes.
Or sacrifice people.
Sex is preferable.
To be a cultist.
Oh, to be a cultist, yeah, for real. I like her bedspread. She's got 3 different shades of blue.
With that, she will lead you in. Obviously, going to lock the door.
Carpet.
The beautiful blue marble, the blue bedspread, and blue carpet, along with a beautiful silver chest. Yeah, pretty much that's what's going on downstairs. The same time, you all would be welcomed in by Cheryl, as obviously he's trying to just sell the front, and obviously just wants to get the fuck out of here.
I will lay on the bed to sell it, to sell the image. Rain, stop blinding us. Stop it. Cease.
So, obviously, you guys are spending a moment and closing the door, and then at that point, you can tell she is moving to open one of the windows. Do you have a way out of here?
Call it a ride of sorts.
At that point, where is the tiny man? There. Oh, there's a copy of him that works there anyway. You do see that, ironically, out of all the window frames, because he was climbing the cliff face and such. Cool.
Oh.
Hello.
Kid, what are you doing out here?
I was told to go outside by Ramus.
Right, but why are you here?
I don't.
Griffins are.
They're up.
This is all telepathic, because I assume he's outside the window.
They're up like everything else. I'm going up.
Hurry the fuck up.
Why the fuck are you up here? You were just downstairs.
There's a thing called stairs, Koo. Fucking cat for God.
I'll figure this out later. He starts climbing the wall some more and going up into the roof. You wanna?
I warn you, Aiden, you better put some respect on my people.
You can see that he has
If I hadn't already gotten her on our side, he would have just blown the whole thing. That's all I'm saying.
You can see that he has a magical climbing rope that has tied itself off on its own.
Guy's just got all the shit.
He steals everything, dude.
Whole like, fuck.
He's thief extraordinaire.
I asked her, "Is there anything to take with you?" I would also advise that we wait until darkness finishes, so that your guards are least aware.
I don't really want to spend any time here longer than I have to.
Right now, you have to.
This is gonna go so wrong.
No, it's not. It's fine. Just get out and don't die.
Fine.
I scooped up Ramus and Drakehound. We got Serval. What's his Koo's on his way out. Now we just need Tripod, and the Holy Twins to like skedaddle.
Sure,
So-
we don't know that's the plan.
Yeah, you do, because the whole our initial conversation was about the boat, but we all in character would have known that the boat was gone. It's just us.
It's the
that
Griffins.
Forgot because it's been like 2 weeks since we played, and our escape route is the Griffin.
Yeah.
So it's always been that. That was why we had the nest at the top in this whole thing.
All right.
But how do we know that you freed Sherville? Like, we literally don't know what's happened with you.
You did. It's true. It's all at a loss right now.
You don't know when it's true, but I mean the plan was always to get out with info. The plan was always to get out tonight.
I just want to say like a key word really quick at Thalos when he comes in. Like, you know, the Griffins are gonna be hungry soon.
Gotcha.
All right. So,
You are.
especially with that cue, obviously the dinner is basically at an end. There's some desserts if you wish to partake, and anything else of that. Veronica Fairbridge will give Thalos a wink and says, "I'll go put something extra special on."
Ma'am.
And then Thalos, you tell her, you know, I'll have your servant bring me tea later. Go freshen up.
That is really good. I will freshen myself and have your servant. I look towards the butler guy. Bring me to you shortly.
He nods and she smiles. Yes, very special indeed. I'll be waiting. And we'll immediately proceed upstairs to her main chambers.
Could we, you know, skedaddle out to the garden, call our birdies, and be the fuck out?
Which, at the same time, her entourage would leave with her.
Lovely. Let's go, y'all. Let's get the fuck out of here.
As you punch out for one of the windows.
Hello? What is going
No, wait. Isn't there dude still there? Like this guy?
Yes, but obviously he listens to orders quite directly.
Servants are invisible. I forgot he was there.
Is he elven or
Tiefling.
tiefling?
Devilman.
All right. I say out loud. But I say out loud in elven. A bit of water would be nice. Does he react?
He nods and goes to retrieve a pitcher of water.
He can understand elven. Okay. In that case, yeah. Let's go out to the garden.
Cool.
Fuck, he's bilingual.
It's like he's a really good butler or some shit.
As he's gone that way, I follow the Delacroix, and as long as we're alone, I ask, where the hell is everybody?
We out. We'll
Where's
explain.
everyone?
So, where's our griffins?
Can I send?
Let's go.
So you call for the Griffins there?
Wait.
Wouldn't do that, but
Two of them would be good. Because then these guys down here. they're-
Jin doesn't have a griffin.
He has invincible.
Invincible.
What? Y'all Y'all broke up. What?
He's got invincible, not a good.
Oh, cool. Alright, well. We out.
Alright. So,
Do you hear him the way he's talking? He's like, you sure? You sure?
I know, it makes me so nervous.
Before
I hate when he does that.
before we crest, just remember she's got archers on top of the structure. So if she sees
Well,
us
we can
fleeing,
go
we're gonna
up.
get fired on.
We can go up. Well, no, they're not gonna fire on us because they don't know whether or not we're coming and going. Like,
oh yeah. At the
because it was well known we're just here for dinner.
at the same time as you're like getting everything ready, Ramus, Iden, you would see, especially looking out the window, two griffin, or well, a griffin and invincible, fly up from where the garden area was. You could see the archers looking a little confused, but they don't pay any mind to it because they saw you arrive with them, and they see you riding them, so they just assume that business has been concluded, as far as you can tell. What will the rest of you do? As obviously there's Shrivel and Ku as well, and then also Drakehound is with you.
You can double up.
We've got a couple options. Yeah, I can call my griffin down and we could exit via the window, or I could polymorph one of us into a flying creature, and then that person can carry us all. I see. That's what Iden is actually going to. Oh my God, he's gonna use his wild shape. This never happens. Iden's gonna use his wild shape to transform into. I think I can do a giant eagle, right? I have flying speed animals now.
Yeah.
So Iden's going to transform into a giant eagle, pick up Serval with one claw, and Ramus and Drakehound with the other.
Ramus is holding Drakehound. What about Ku, though?
Ku's already gone. He's climbing. He's got magic rope of climbing. And I'll launch myself out the window and spiral up and away before anybody sees me.
You would see Ku would get on like the remaining griffin there and start following you.
He can take, yeah, he can take my griffin for the time being before I drop Ramus off at his.
Alrighty.
I don't know, I think this is the first time Iden has ever used his wild shape to transform.
Alright.
You keep saying that. I don't like the way you're doing.
I know. Oh God.
He's rolling dice, isn't he?
So with that, especially Shrivel being ecstatic to get out of here, doesn't even matter to her how. You immediately take flight towards your ship. At the same time, you do hear a little bit of panic and bell ringing at that point as you get to a distance of, well, about 200 feet. But you can see that everything in the distance is well and far gone at this point. And you're able to land on your ship with relative ease after about a good 3 hours of travel, because obviously you would be able to switch off on your griffins.
You said relative.
Because he would have to mid-air polymorph land on his griffin. Because polymorph only lasts for about an hour. Or druid actually, no. How long does your druid shape last? Because I know it's gotten longer now.
Are you talking to me?
I did.
I'm sorry.
How long does your wild shape last?
Wild shape, I believe an hour, but it only needs to last long enough for me to get to my griffin.
Yeah, no. You would definitely be able to do that with relative ease. So everything's in.
Wild shape.
Everything's in the distance. You could see that falling up behind you guys is obviously.
4 hours.
4.
I'm level 9.
Yeah, you would literally be able to
It's
catch up
half
to.
half my druid level. Yep.
You would easily be able to catch up to your ship with that. As the rest of you land on the ship, you would see that Iden and Ramus, as well as Ku and Draken, land on the ship with Miss Shrivel Sagefall.
I feel like this was a mistake, but I suppose. Oh well. I live with your decisions.
It is not in my nature to allow people to languish in suffering. was able to provide information that there is an entire church of Dagon
That would
underneath.
not have been good to stay.
No. No, not.
So,
Does any of this help us prove what we were tasked to prove? Deputized to make sure we had evidence against Beveridge.
so
Well, we do have the woman who's been with her for 2 years.
Case witness, yeah.
Coup? I look to Coup.
I managed to find some of these documents in this weird ore. And you can see he like starts sniffing and licking it. It's really salty.
Such a weirdo. It's Play-Doh. Is it Play-Doh?
No.
It's really salty. It's blue.
So,
Likely kill you in the morning.
as you would look at the obvious ledger that he had stolen away from, you would take note that the ledger had marked the various crafting of what seems to be aqueous ingots. This seems to have a lighter, more natural feel to that equivalently to steel, but that doesn't seem to break under extreme sea pressure. It seems to have more of a natural fit, and even being further up above water, it seems to get lighter. Almost like the trade-off of that of mithril. And as far as you could tell between the ledger and all that, if these ingots were crafted into staffs, rods, or wands, would have greater effects between that of lightning, thunder, and water magics, between control water, lightning bolt, storms, and maelstorms and such. So this itself is equivalently that of a magical material, which enhances magical prowess.
We stole this from Veronica?
I think this is like one of her demonstration pieces, and he like starts to chew on it all. Definitely not like gold. Doesn't bend like it.
I take a look over the ledgers.
At this point, you can see Chervil is like practically in tears and just kind of like holding onto the railing, looking out over the ocean, just crying with joy at this point.
Ramus sees her. Can we drop you off somewhere?
If you could drop me anywhere close to Hanso.
Is that anywhere near where we're going currently?
You would definitely be passing by it in a day or two.
Okay.
Is it daytime or nighttime?
When you had originally arrived, it was daytime. It's about midday, getting closer to the afternoon. So dark is approaching.
How many hours away is the dark?
Currently, you are 4 hours away from nighttime.
We don't want to be like on shore, right? At nighttime. I think.
Probably don't want to be at sea right now.
Yeah, word. Exactly, bro.
Point.
I
That
feel
is a
like
point. This is Dagon.
We need to get out of the water and, you know, prepare ourselves. So maybe we can send her on.
Yeah. What's the range that we could reach with the ship from where we are right now before dark?
Before dark, you would be pretty much about 1/3 of the way to Onso. In between there doesn't really seem to be many trade ports. It's more open farm and villages areas.
We could find a pretty desolate. We could find an area pretty away from other people, and set up a camp. We've camped in the wilderness before.
How far would Anzo be on Griffinback?
Just leaving the ship behind and going on Griffinback, you would be able to make it pretty much in that of like a 3/4 of a day. You'd be able to shorten the time by half. But obviously you would have to ride through the night.
Yeah. But at least being in the air, wouldn't we be at more of a
You would definitely be a lot further away from the water.
So we should go the Griffin route right now. Any disagreements?
We could lay anchor and get closer to shore. I mean, we don't want to leave Paulgain and our allies because I mean we can't all fly.
We can't bring everybody. We could
No, but-
we could make shore far enough away that they couldn't reach us feasibly in a day.
What's the closest shoreline to us?
Let's.
Hanzo.
Yeah. Anso would be the closest, and bounce over to the map real quick, as I knew you were going to request that.
Please.
There we are.
It helps to visualize.
So, sorry. Galera would be the closest. So effectively, you're traveling from the main river here, where this would be Veronica's, and then you're traveling further down to Galera. So,
from here to here.
yes.
And where is this chick's island nation? Angry Swift?
Veronica Fairbridge is a little mansion is right there.
Up here?
No, this
Right
like,
here.
orange and blue arrow here.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Okay. And which way is this? What I was asking was this girl that's with us. Like, where's her island?
This is around. This is basically the capital of Anso.
The little green one.
Yep.
Anso.
This is Anso.
It's so Veronica is a merchant in this country.
Yep. This is the Mage Nation.
So we're like here. We should just straight up fucking fly. If we're this close to land, we can just tell Poggin to dock.
The boat could come with us though.
It can get
There's
to
no reason to abandon Paulgain on his own.
because there is a huge main trade river here going into Runo.
Right.
Yeah, but being in the water at nighttime, I think is a disadvantage. Like, we just pissed off a very powerful person with a whole goddamn church. And I think somebody mentioned some dark water god earlier. I don't even know.
Dagon.
Yes.
Dagon, that's who she worships. Dark water.
Yeah.
If we can get everybody off the ship, we can replace a ship. Whatever, we make money.
We just bought this ship. We just bought this ship. Stop trying to throw the ship away. Let's just protect the ship.
Throw the ship away, but I'm trying to save the people on the goddamn ship. I'm
We can always run away later.
We can get the ship later on.
It's true, Jin did just name it.
We can dock it, get everybody off the water primarily. That's what
Right, for tonight. Right.
Yeah.
But we don't need to fly anywhere to do that. Oh God, what is this paper noise?
Sorry.
Oh,
We can get this chick home.
but we can't reach there tonight.
We would get there in 3/4 of the day, I think.
But then when we leave the rest of our party behind, unable to defend themselves if they go on attack. Like, we're the powerhouses. We should move together even if it's a little slower. Drew Tang
If we
move
dock
together.
for the night, if we find shore and dock for the night, we can get our people onto dry land. In the morning, we can fly this chick back to Anso. And then we'll come back for our people and get back out onto the sea. But, I mean, we
This
can
is
do
what
it
I.
all.
This is what I'm. Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Alright.
I dislike abandoning people right now.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Alright. I'm gonna switch to my phone because this is that thing.
Right. All right.
Ready,
Josh, one question.
Yes.
Alec Brugier, the guy that gave us the deputization, he's from Anso, correct?
Yes. So you're deputized and privileged to go here, and you would assume that most guards would definitely accept the writ.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Zone of Truth exists. How does the legal system work when you have a way to 100% just keep casting Zone of Truth until, oh, they failed the save, ask of the questions?
Well, generally, most people would usually run out of spell slots at that point.
Right, but if you're the justice system, you've got like, we've got 8 different clerics, and all they do is prepare. Like, what I'm saying is, her testimony should be enough evidence because she can just go under Zone of Truth, and everyone knows that she's speaking 100% the truth.
Yes.
Okay. Well then, I feel like we should go seek that dude out.
Agreed. Also, because I don't think you may have mentioned it to her, but I tell her that we were actually sent by her government to come up with evidence against Veronica Bearbridge. So it's our duty now to protect her and get her back to her country. And they can actually launch their own investigation and hopefully...
Wait, suddenly we're witness protection. This just became CSI. Hold on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's... Yeah, so I mean... But anyway, I relayed that to her. Apologize for the ruse.
I wouldn't even care if you were pirates or not. I'm just glad that you got me out of there. I'm more thankful that it was the people of my nation who had sent someone.
Is there more that you can tell us now that you have put some distance behind you? We need to know if we are in danger now, as we run away.
There was a very powerful priest down in that chapel. His name is Hashalak.
His name is Hacky Sack?
Ash.
I will spell it out for you, because
Sorry,
there's
I'm
no
just-
fucking...
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
No fucking way.
That's exactly what I said. I don't know why you're mad.
Yes. As well as the other fervent worshipper at Tyrus.
Cheers, okay.
They'd both been given blessings to many of the guards and fighters there. I wouldn't dare try to fight any of them in the water. Never mind near it.
That's what we figured.
Yeah, so let's make for the shore. If possible, we would love to find some sort of like, you know, like an inlet where we could park the boat in there and it'd be hidden from the sea.
Alright. Go ahead and roll me a survival.
Me?
Whoever wants to try and point out the spot.
Survival.
Mm-hmm. To hide the ship.
Tang, yo, survival? What water proficiencies? Survival. That's survival. That's good.
Oh, okay.
Ooh!
Okay, yeah. Guys.
Where was that when I was trying to dispel? Where was that, huh? It's the same bonus. It's still wisdom. Fuck.
Alright. Especially with the current knowledge that all of you have. You spend a good portion of time going across the coast, making sure that there are certain areas that you know that, especially with the sea drifts and the seabed floor, would be more obscured by the site, as well as the coral blocking it out. You managed to find what looks like was probably a previously connected to a lake. Had been blocked off a little bit, but you can see Paul Gain looks a little nervous at the area that he's going into, because it's a long ship going into pretty much a small lake. But he manages to coerce it barely enough. It's a very, very, very tight fit. You can even occasionally hear the silt and sand at the bottom of the lake kind of occasionally brush against the bottom of the hull, making it tip just a little bit, but not enough to get stuck. So with that, especially as you pocket it up, you would assume anyone in the water around it or such, unless they're a farmer directly searching on land or coming around, would be fairly hard-pressed to find you. This seems almost like a perfect ambush spot for you as well if you were to try and catch a merchant ship off guard or so.
If we ever become pirates, I know where to go. Mark this on my map for future use.
Right. Nice little hidden alcove, the Forgotten Lake.
I name it Bitch Smuggler Bay on my map.
Booyah. Alrighty. And there's also still the ring that you would have. At that point, you could see that Sherville has not removed the choker, and obviously has known full well what it is, and is obviously keeping it on to make sure that she cannot fucking be tracked in this trek to go back.
Yep. Smartest thing we did all day. I'm saying.
Obviously, you're spending some time at the ring, and obviously now with everything kind of anchored down and ready, everyone is keeping quiet for the time being, so not to draw attention, and just kind of keeping watch. The griffins obviously need to kind of be reined in a little bit, but not too badly. They occasionally just go back on land and kind of hunt a boar or a deer or anything that they see that's good game. And so, would you like to bed down for the night or carry on with the griffin plan? As obviously, you feel everyone's pretty safe in this pocket.
It's a cozy pocket.
I don't have 5th level spells, but I also am only one of the party, and I'm the only one that's really expending any resources, so we should be pretty good to press on.
Do we?
I was the
Are we
one
in a
that was
place to
anxious,
possibly
so
rest, or-
allow me to be the first to rescind my desire not to deliver package as soon as possible.
Yep. Yep.
I believe urgency should be the name of our game.
Alright.
It was actually Otren. Title drop.
Oh shit!
And roll credit. Yeah, I'll ask her if she'd like to hop up on my griffin behind me.
Right.
Does she want to be the big?
Hell yeah.
You act like Aiden's gonna let her hold the reins. Fuck that. Absolutely not. Cannot be trusted.
But she will happily tuck on to the griffin saddle. And I would imagine the party is going. Ku and Nero and Dia are going to stay behind with Bulgane, make sure the ship is safe. And
Snake's gonna hang out with everybody still, staying behind as well.
alright.
Does Aritris want to go? I don't know if she wants to keep chilling with us, considering everything that just went down.
She's kind of chilling there, like, I'm okay. I think I'll keep an eye on the ship for now.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, so with that, the rest of you get on your griffins, all invincible, and immediately start heading out.
So we're going to turn in the evidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
How
Sexy
close
pants
is
over
it
here.
How close is it for sexy pants? So it's getting her out.
So basically, it would only take you a few hours, so it would take you a good 12 hours of flying to get fully into Galera, the other port city here. which there it would be easy enough to assume that there is enough push and pull with the Grand Magistrate still that she would be safe enough there. Yeah, you could take her on Invincible.
Okay.
And Koo nods like, yeah.
Do you want to take the bar with you? It's pretty weird.
Yes. Probably be for the best. And I wipe it off and I wrap it up.
Alright. You wipe off the Koo spittle and tuck it away. He passes you the ledger of what the magic could be. Well, essentially what aqueous ingots could be bettered for. And with that, you can see he pulls out, as well as he like starts counting out certain things, a whole box of jewelry as well.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. Alright, Wesley, good work. I'll likely kill you in the morning.
I suppose progress is progress.
3 years he went on like this.
3 years.
And then one day he sat me down.
I
I'm
love
not the Dread Pirate Roberts, he said. My name's Ryan.
the original Dread Pirate Robertson retired to the Caribbean 5 years ago.
Love that movie.
This is so
Love it.
fucking
Dude,
good.
it's the perfect film. There's literally, it has everything.
Rodents of unusual size? I don't believe they exist.
I don't think they exist. Quata.
Cocaine powder. I'd stake my life on it.
Do you think it's a trap?
Alright.
I think everything is a trap. That's why I'm still alive. Dude, that game makes that movie makes so much sense if you think of it as a D&D game.
It really do.
Because every scene with Inigo in it, the fact that they actually learned real sword fighting and sword fighting terms for Inigo and Wesley's fight, like,
I am the Brute Squad. Like it's
you are the Brute Squad.
I love how even during the scene when he gets knocked out, he actually did get knocked out during recording.
Oh, really?
He got
Really?
smacked.
Yeah.
Got smacked.
The guy said, like, yeah, no, I want to make it, like, as real as possible, so just hit me. So the guy did. And, like, it wasn't even hard, but it was, like, right at the perfect part on his head, and it just fucking cold-cocked him out. And they just used that scene for the movie, because he's like, no, that was fucking perfect, I loved it. And I was like, god damn, that guy is a fucking baller of an actor.
Jesus.
Now it's gonna have to happen. The next time someone's behind us, I'm gonna have to ask, do you think he's using the same wind we are using?
Alrighty.
Inconceivable. I'm gonna start saying inconceivable.
So,
Decided.
Alright.
as you are flying off into the distance, you see that there is a storm a-brewing behind you.
Oh no, not a storm.
At this point, though, obviously, especially on Griffin Bank, the Griffin and easily outpaced that. You
But our friends
eve-
get swept away.
eventually see the ship itself also kind of getting encroached on by the storm as well, but not much can be done at that point. Until eventually you start to come in to see the lights of Galera, one of the greater major ports along the coast, as well as one of the greater magic cities within the entirety of the lands. As you look over the major of the Gulf, you could see piercing towers that rise further beyond normal means. Anyone who was able to craft those, you would tell, would definitely require magic, especially between the balance and even the various soft glow of lights that seem to illuminate the city. Everything here seems to have a small hint of magic. Even the various ships that you see here are definitely ornate and regal in design. Some that look like they almost surf on the very edge and the bottom of the bow that just kind of coasts along, almost like as if it was light as a feather drifting along the ocean. You could
Don't like that.
You could see the various docks and other locations in port where they have obviously accepted a great deal and many of varying ships. They have raising and lowering planks going in and out. A huge amount of people are obviously back and forth on these dock working areas. Others that are obviously using specific kinds of magic, or even those without planks are either trading off between smaller bags for mage hand or using telekinesis to lift entire loads out of the hold of the ship and put them back onto the edge of the docks where people start unloading by hand. You do eventually start to see one of the more centered markets area. You can see, as well as a larger section of the city that is obviously to where the guardhouse is, or the propriety, in the front area, and also has a toll house nearby. And you easily presume that would be one of the major places to land. As you come into land, you can see a few other people kind of looking a little bit shocked at you, and a few guards kind of surrounding you and point out, like, if you're looking for the Griffin stables, you would be heading to the third tower at the southeastern district there. And before any of you can chime in, you hear Sagefall immediately chiming in, just to immediately cut down any suspicion. I am Lady Chervil Sagefall. I am the daughter to the Grand Magister of Sagefall and Anso, and leader of the Free Mages. And with that, you could actually see that she actually pulls out her own house insignia, which is that of a green dragon illuminated seemingly by what appears to be a crystal staff or rod. Especially with the representation of the Sagefall house and the Grand Magister seal, you can see that the 5 guards there that are adorned in varying styles of mage plate and armor, as well as they seem to be wielding halberds at the time, immediately take a knee. And with that on the greeting and welcoming of that, you can see that even if few other guards immediately come out, especially with the current situation, is they realize that royalty has just landed in the main center market and are also trying to keep other mages and other people away. Immediately welcome you and start bringing your griffins into the main guard post area. And with that, we'll leave off there. As you do see on the final note, a towering looking man, as he peers down at all of you and looks rather intimidating between all the various plates of enchanted armor that he's wearing, as well as what looks like a sheath on the side of his arm, but you could tell would be more of like an arm blade for the sword. And we'll leave off there.
I would like to at this time formally request that the princess, not princess, has a hunky younger brother. This
I got Dryden because I'm about to take this princess.
this is my new best friend. What you talk about?
Oh my
Get out of here.
You was
Get
about
out of
to
here.
get
Don't
with
you
the Pale
objectify
Wonder.
my new best friend.
The hardcore friend zone. Alright.
Alright, yeah. I'm gonna go get sleep.
Have fun with the getting sleep. I'm probably also gonna go and do some nonsense.
Alright.
Y'all.
Don't forget to level up.
Oh yeah, we're level 10. I'm gonna do that right now.
Where-
Yay, level
What's our
10.
total
Bye.
What experience did we get today?
What's our total experience? That is the question.
Oh yeah.
I'm still at 65,000. I don't know how much we got from today though.
Today you would get 3,400.
68,400. No, 60.
Yeah, 68400. 68400.
Okay.
Right, level up to 10. Night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night. Guy's gonna have to go deal with royalty and shit now.
We dealt with
That
Jai.
means who's doing the talking?
Is he still in here?
Of course he is.
I don't want to be.
But to be fair, at least this is not whoring ourselves. This is you
No,
because
you're
because isn't like
whoring me. You're using me for one thing.
Yes.
oh dude no dude but no think about it because didn't you say you guys have your own estate? The Delaquas
we
have
do.
their own estate.
But
the only
listen
one
to
who
what
actually
you're
looks like
saying,
you.
Talos. You're using me for one thing, my charisma. So obviously you're whoring me.
I didn't use you for anything this time around. I'm just saying you're the only
Okay,
one
I'm gonna
that
say the
knows
line
how
you just
to
said.
feel.
Guess who's going to be talking? The one that has the highest persuasion.
No, not persuasion.
Why?
The one who's already rich.
If you had the highest persuasion, why wouldn't you talk?
Because you guys gotta play on hard mode too. Sometimes I have to roll fucking -1 on shit. I don't want to.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Having it.
Fair. Come on, man.
We all roll shit.
Come on, man. I picked up the slack on that. Someone else is gonna have to do the talking. Cause I mean, I'm literally a dude who rolled off the plane.
If I'm gonna end up
like,
trying to take Miss Sage fall for myself, we're gonna have to unite kingdoms and households.
And how do you do that? By getting married.
Or intimidation.
But
I got a +8 on that. Or deception. I got a +8 on that. Or performance. I got a +4 on that.
Man, I can't wait for someone to study that ring and to realize she was... Well, actually, no, I'll spill that anyway, because you guys eventually find out anyway. The main thing that Aiden's rescued her from, where it would trigger if she mentioned anything of the church, anything that Veronica Fairbridge deemed unworthy, or the information of the ring of what it would do, it would cast negative energy flood, which it would do 5d12 necrotic damage on her. And if she died to it, it would turn her into a zombie immediately.
Oh god. Good job, Aiden.
So not only would she be dead, she would be immediately undead, and the only way to really bring her back from that would literally be to cast a 9th level spell.
Or take her head.
That too.
But what about revivify?
If you zombify a creature, revivify does not work.
Well, she could be undead. Like, conscious undead, not zombie undead.
Vampire undead. Revivify. Yeah, I'm gonna give you that good suck. Oh yeah. Oh, my blood! My blood!
That's not what I had in mind.
That's not the good suck! It is for me!
Alright, so what's our total right now?
68, 340.
68, 340.
But I thought it was 68,400. You're talking XP?
Yeah.
It should be 68,400.
68,400.
Yeah.
Oh, 68, 400.
Yep.
Okie doke.
Because you rescued Cherville's Sage Fall.
Okay, well, GG guys.
Yep. I'm out. Later.
Alright, leveling up and hopefully see you guys in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks, maybe sooner, who knows? We shall see.